Hi there guys, it's Join Dota League Season 8 game. It's Russian Mathematic against a Swedish name, which I cannot for the life of me pronounce.
10 seconds
I'm sure I'll have it
remaining.
somewhere. Göstas grabbar boys.
5 seconds remaining.
Let's just say that my Swedish is not exactly the best. As in,
Reserve
I
time.
don't really know any.
Fire
But yeah,
team down.
we'll get into this. Either way, it's all the same. Yeah, so start off the bans, it's the Alchemist ban as usual. Seeing a lot of hate recently. I still don't think the
10
increase that he
seconds
got
remaining.
wasn't really enough for him to be a full
5
first pick every time. I think
remaining.
it just made him back into the meta again, but he is quite easy to
Reserve time.
stop, especially seeing as he's doesn't have too much lane pressure to start off with. The acid spray is very good with the minus armor
Radiant
and
team
continuous amount of damage all in one area, but yeah, he doesn't do enough, I don't think, to start off with. And there's a Slardar ban on the other side. I don't know if they
10
know
seconds remaining.
that the other guys play that a lot, but you don't usually see a Slardar picked in the first
Fire
phase.
team
Doom being
down.
banned as well, another one of the meta recently. Can be very, very good for your team, or can be very, very bad. I think it comes down to how well you do in the early laning. A lot of people
10 seconds
end up
remaining.
going Midas and stuff on him, and it doesn't really pay off. I don't think it's too
Radiant
slow
team
to
pick.
get things started. You really want to get him involved in the game quickly, because he does have that ultimate, but it is only a one person. So if the other team can play continuously around something else, then two people or something like that, just take that one person out the fight, disengage, and then he's, you know, pretty much just a fast moving creep. So yeah,
10
you want to give him
seconds
some
remaining.
fighting ability
5 seconds
early game,
remaining.
unless you want to get the refresher really quickly, then you can take out two people and then that's just
Reserve
a lot
time.
better. We'll see what the first picks end up being. On the other side, the Ember Spirit was banned out. Difficult to lock down, but it's the same, early pressure really wrecks him.
Dire
First pick
team
here will be the
pick.
Witch Doctor.
Winter
Very good support. The
Dire
stun
team
isn't...
pick.
You don't know if it's going to go off. You know it's the first person that's going to get stunned, but then there's always the RNG chance, but it can actually work for the other team as well. So you could get bad RNG, or they could get very, very bad for them. It's definitely based on that. The bounces as well from the Death Ward, but on the other hand, Witch Doctor
10
very,
seconds
very good support,
remaining.
especially early game with that stun.
5
Maledict can do a lot of damage if you've got the burst. And the heal's actually quite underrated. 8 mana a
Reserve
second for
time.
16 health a second is very good early game. Sort of falls off later game.
Radiant team pick.
But yeah, on the other side, they get in the Winter Wyvern. Very good support recently. Seems to have just hit her niche. Good in a lot of areas. Doesn't have too much of an escape. She can go over cliffs with that, so if you do catch her out, she's very, very good at zoning out the enemy offlane, or I guess if you were to do her in an
10
aggro try, but
seconds
until she gets her 6, she doesn't really have any lockdown. She has slows,
Radiant
but
team
no lockdown.
ban.
And yeah, Gyrocopter coming out there as well. He's great for early lane dominance. He does a lot of damage if he can solo somebody out. And the Night Stalker as well,
10
for
seconds
the
remaining.
Radiant side, I'll probably call them. Or GGB.
5 seconds
GGB will
remaining.
probably sound better than trying to destroy the name that they have.
Reserve time.
But yeah, Night Stalker, very good if you can get him started. He is played in a forward position quite a lot nowadays. Does have that huge amount of silence. Nighttime. Oh no, that's 8-second miss chance. Nighttime 4-second silence, isn't it? Slow. Nah, there we are. 8-second silence at night. It's huge. And a 50% chance to miss at night. Gyrocopter doesn't have his BKB, and then that 50% miss chance, can't use any of his skills. Very, very good, but on the other hand, if he gets pulled back, he really needs the farm, as he doesn't really have too much lockdown. It's all slows and mini stun. Can stop people getting away. You really use him for the vision at night time, being able to make it pretty much permanently dark, with that flying vision as well that you get when you have the Aghanim Scepter. Banning out the Darkseer here. Guess they don't know what the offlane is yet. There's only been 2 picks, but Darkseer, a very good pick, especially in the offlane. Just because the fact that you can sit behind once you have that soul ring, you can just Ion Shell creeps as much as you want, and it will push into the lane. Gyrocopter does have the range on the Ion Shell, but it still will chase you down. Very good for pushing. He doesn't get as much XP, but he does get the gold.
5 seconds remaining.
But here's the PL being banned out as well by Russian Mathematic. And the Spirit Breaker going down. It'll probably be going to Wyvern in the 5 position, doesn't really need much farm. It's just levels that the Wyvern needs. Gyrocopter will most likely be going into the safe lane. You can play in middle,
10 seconds
but
remaining.
that's only if it's really needed. You'll probably see him safe. Witch Doctor will probably be the 5 position with the Night Stalker going 4, unless they want to play an offlane Night Stalker, but Night Stalker against into Wyvern is not going to play very well, I don't think. They've banned out the CK. Haven't seen much CK recently. His what is his critical strike called? I can't remember. But that had a recent change where it starts applying armor reduction on the critical strike. It's very good, especially seeing as his illusions all do 100% damage. You can just burst somebody down. So much damage straight off. But it's very RNG based. And here we have the Tusk. He seems to get banned out less and less in these games. Tusk, he's very good if you're going aggressive. The snowball there, just helping out, can also block out. Does help you escape having the unpathable ice shards, but that's always based as well on RNG. Like, is it going to stop forehand or not? I always thought ice shards weren't completely fixed. I thought the point of them hitting they would hit a hero and then block them inside, but they seem to push away after doing the damage sometimes, which is a bit odd. But all round Tusk, very good offlaner. Tends to be able to get the XP, can last hit from quite a whiles away with his ice shards, and once he gets his level 6 he can just start roaming around again. Although he can also play the 4th position and roam with an Ogre Magi. It actually might be an offlane Night Stalker here. Ogre Magi most likely going to go support. You can go carry Ogre, but that's definitely a Pubby strat there. And yeah, it will be an offlane Tusk with a Bane. Possibly going into the 4+, possibly just sharing the supporting roles with Wyvern and Bane, just hoping to get some farm between them. Neither of them really need items that much. They'll just look to be getting a Glimmer Cape to keep them away. Especially against the Ogre. Lots of magic damage coming out from him. And yeah, just a lot of lockdown coming from the Bane. Wyvern ultimate, very good, and Tusk just being able to slow somebody down and take them out of the fight very quickly. But stun wise, there's a lot of stuns here, and Spectre, so they're definitely going to go for that late game carry. Play around the vision game. Darkness pulling everyone's vision down, and then using the Spectre Haunt, you can just sow the seeds of disarray in the fight. Well, yeah, we'll see how that goes. It looks like Russian Mathematics still want to get their mid lane hero, and I think it's the same for the Radiant as well. Oh, although they did ban out the Nature's Prophet, so I wonder if they think that Night Stalker would go middle, which would leave them wanting to get an offlane, which Nature's Prophet would be very good, getting the
10
global.
seconds remaining.
And yeah, they ban out obviously no Russian Mathematic need their middle lane. If they think the Night Stalker's going, they could go for a Dragon Knight or something along those lines. You want somebody to stop this Spectre, somebody to jump in early.
10 seconds
Maybe they just want to stop the
remaining.
global. They might be thinking of going for a Tinker even.
5 seconds remaining.
But global presence, especially with the Spectre, the fact that you can haunt in and have the
Reserve time.
Nature's Prophet just TPing it straight in on that as well. But in this middle lane, not entirely too sure what they would go for. I think a Dragon Knight could be quite good. Do a lot of pressure on this tower. There's not too much burst actually for the Radiant side either. I guess their final hero will figure that out, although the Night Stalker does counter him a little bit with that mischance. There's a lot of damage with his... Oh wow, fireworks going off outside the window. Wonder what they're for. Interesting. Quite a lot, actually. We do like a firework here in Edinburgh. But yeah, taking a very long time over the last pick. Using up, they did manage to save most of their reserve time for this last stage, so...
Dragon Knight.
Yeah, there we are. There's the Dragon Knight.
Radiant team.
Because they do think the Night Stalker is going middle. So being able to get him there, the melee against melee. The Radiant will probably be going for an offlane here. They think, although they can do a Night Stalker offlane, but I would not think that he would be that great against a Bane and a Wyvern. Wyvern can just zone him out completely.
10
Bane
seconds
does a lot of damage.
remaining.
And also the fact that you can just set up the
5
Nightmare
seconds
into the gyrocopters, not homing missiles, rocket barrage.
Reserve
So
time.
he will probably go middle lane. So offlane wise, you would probably want a ranged offlaner, somebody that can really play well here. They've
10 seconds remaining.
Shadow Fiends, so they are going the middle. It's going to be the Night Stalker offlane. They might want to dual lane this then. But yeah, so the Dragon Knight will probably not have the best of times in this middle lane, but I think it's going to end up being played again against this Night Stalker, and Night Stalker does not do very well
Prepare
if he doesn't
for
have much of a good
battle.
start. But anyway, let's say the teams here. On the Radiant side, we've got Once We're Good playing the Shadow Fiend, it's Trap playing the offlane Night Stalker, Iron playing the Witch Doctor, Izzy, team captain I believe, playing Ogre Magi, and last but not least it is Joagus playing the Spectre. And here we have Garrison, who possibly is going offlane. He has picked up that stout shield, so I would think he's going offlane on this task. With Fuel Hunt playing the Gyrocopter, Toby fucking Yuan playing the Dragon Knight, Botchling playing the Winter Wyvern, and Tivo playing
30
the
seconds
Bane.
to battle.
It looks like there will actually be a bit of a fight here for the bottom rune. Nobody on the top, and it looks like Dragon Knight is going to be the only one going for this top rune, so we might see a bit of action down on the bottom. Or level 1 wise, I would probably give this to the Dire side. They haven't seen this Ogre Magi though. Oh, now they have, and he's just got his stun, and here it is. This rune will be taken here by the Gyrocopter, but it looks like there will just be a disengage. So a fair bit of damage taken by this Ogre Magi, but he has 3.2 health regen, so he'll be fine. But that was 2 runes going for the side of them, and it's going to be a middle lane gyro. Just not wanting the Shadow Fiend to go up against a melee hero, wanting to at least go against the main. And he did manage to get that deny, especially with his 42 base damage. And it looks like it's going to be dual lanes here actually. Having a Dragon Knight, they did manage to get the Dragon Knight Night Stalker lane. And that should be good against with the Dragon Knight, 20% damage reduction. And they're going dual lanes here in the middle, putting out the harass and the Shadow Fiend, who will be rushing a fast bottle. He will get it quickly. And yeah, this looks like the Bane is going to come in from the backside here. Just to run out some quick clicks. It's very high base attack damage actually, with 62. Especially, does have 3 armor here. But yeah, the Tusk managing to keep this here, and the ward was just placed down, so they only have 1 pull camp to go there. Izzy might go along at some point, but we'll stick up the last hits. It looks like the Night Stalker is actually doing the best here in this offlane. 9 and 2 against 5 and 1. But that's the thing, once the Breathe Fire starts getting ramped up, should be able to start last hitting with this, and just, yeah, takes down about 20%, it'll be 25, yeah, 25% of the damage of the Night Stalker for quite a long time actually. And it looks like the Witch Doctor will get this bounty rune.
Just what
gives him his level 2. Let's see what he's going to go for. He's going to go for the Voodoo Restoration, giving him a little bit more lane pressure. But yeah, all in all, there's not much kill potential on either side. Tusk is getting the most here, and out starts coming. This Enfeeble. There's a lot of reduction, but it does look like Bane might go down here. This will be first blood. She could have got the deny off. Actually, Bane's not a she. I'm not too sure what Bane is, but it looks like Witch Doctor will get that first blood. Just a quick one. That's done. They have a lot of stuns here. So yeah. Do expect it to be a relatively slow start, and I believe Rocket's being leveled up. Homing Missile here, there's a lot of damage on the Homing Missile. And use up all of her bottle charges already. And the Rocket comes out again. This does a lot of damage, the Homing Missile. And the further you run away from it, the more it's going to do. And they might need to go back here. With the Gyrocopter going for the bottom. It looks like there's a bit more damage here coming from Tivo. And yeah, Tivo is okay. But this tri-lane, yeah. And it's only a single pull coming out here. So Botchling is being watched. Won't be able to get too much out on this Night Stalker, and then, as I said, once Breathe Fire started coming out, the Dragon Knight would start being able to spam out these lanes. And it does look like the Gyrocopter's been able to get enough out of this. And a Haste Rune coming out of this Shadow Fiend, but it did have to Bottle Crow it. So there is a chance that they could do something against this lane, but probably not. It looks like the Tusk's okay. The Wyvern is coming in here, managing to get 1 off. It's a bit of a slow, but it is night time. And they're not going to be able to do too much against the Night Stalker. They are going over a ward every time, so they know when they're coming in.
No, you don't.
But yeah, already got the boots up on this Dragon Knight, almost level 6. But Night Stalker, already nighttime. He's running around, 413 move speed on just brown boots. And it looks, yeah, Cobra Magi level 3, level 4 on this Tusk. 26 and 4 now, he's starting to take away with that Breathe Fire spam. But still very close on that. 13 and 4 is the opposite side of things, but the Spectre is the one who's taking the most from this. No damage there. Look at that enfeeble Spectre, just 60, minus 60, just unable to get any last hits. Just does nothing. Absolutely nothing. She will not be happy with this. And that rocket will get killed off, I think. Just one hit from the Shadow Fiend, and managing to pick up a soul from a rocket. I always find that a little bit odd as well, when you could pick up blood from the catapults. But it looks like Wyvern might actually go down here in this. No, being able to fly over the trees, get a few more right clicks off with that Arctic Burn. Once she starts being able to level that up, that's when the most damage will start coming out from this. But the Gyrocopter is level 6 now. Ooh, taking a fair bit of damage from these raises. Doesn't look like there's any. Oh no, triple stack here actually happening for this Shadow Fiend. It's a very good side about the Radiant, and he's definitely leveling this rocket up. 500 damage. You don't start expecting it actually. Because it's not a nuke that you can really expect something to happen. But the Night Stalker is level 6 now. Leveling up Void just for the nuke damage. Oh wow. No slow here, didn't have enough for the stun. But we'll just start putting in some damage on this tower. Dragon Knight picking up a bottle as well. It looks like the Witch Doctor might go down here. No, took the homing missile, but nah, won't go down. But the Gyrocopter might need to start bottle crowing. Tusk is almost level 6, Ogre Magi is only level 4, and has been, yeah, just been sleeped there. There's nothing that you can do. But the Night Stalker already came down bottom lane. Yeah, I think he got found out doing that, but it's really not too much that you can do. He's still got that Enchanted Mango there. 7:30, it's almost the end of night time. Maybe hoping to get a kill on this Gyrocopter if he can. No, being found by the lane here. Just going to start hitting it. The Witch Doctor there, and the Shadow Fiend did have to go back. The rocket spam just doing its work. But the first dragon form gets popped here. Tower ticking down. A lot of damage from this, and yeah, that's the first night over. Not getting too much work done, to be honest. Just having to get sent back home. He does have that darkness, so whenever he wants, he can pop it for another 50 seconds of night. 160 second cooldown to start off with though. This tower might end up going down. If he hits it once more, it will go into deny range. He might just want to... and that might be the dragon might go down here. Oh, unlucky bounces. But the Winter Wyvern been able to keep that down with the Cold Embrace and does keep him alive. Oh, it's gonna go down himself. The mini stun stopped happening. And that's the Dragon Knight's first one down. And the Gyrocopter went down whilst all that was happening, managing to kill off the Spectre. And so the Spectre is saving up, and it looks like she's going to go for the Radiant's build. Tusk could use the snowball in there, especially the snowball in with the Gyrocopter. You can pop your Rocket Barrage straight after you're right next, and you will probably get full Rocket Barrage off, especially if you manage to keep them in that Ice Shards. Know where they can run, and that's a lot of damage coming out. But this rocket spam, I think, is really not what they were expecting, and they're just gonna take the full hits from this. Lot of damage. It is 150 mana to use each time. It looks like on the bottom here the Ogre Magi will go down. The Tusk just managing to keep it in with the Ice Shards, and a good little rotation from the Winter Wyvern after she had to go back to base, but it looked... no. Night Stalker, it's not night time. Middle of the day, pretty much. It's 11 AM. So, he's not a daywalker. But now is when the Shadow Fiend is just going to start taking these stacks. Is going for the mech for their team. quite a good pick, but it's still daytime. The Winter Wyvern is actually leveling up Sprint at last. And the Dragon Knight is down here, hoping to get a little more of a kill in. Getting the attack off on this Ogre Magi, but on either side something is happening. And it looks like out comes the Haunt. The Winter Wyvern goes down here, and the Night Stalker is slept. But it's taken off, and the Dragon Knight actually getting taken down here, and so does the Tusk. A little bit too much of a dive here. Gyrocopter firing off this, it will probably get taken out. Just a quick hit. That's a 3-for-1 in that fight. So not what they were expecting. Spectre managing to really get into that fight, but had to go back for the power treads actually. I think she was wanting to go for a straight rush on this Radiance. Not being able to get that. It looks like the Gyrocopter might be able to get his ultimate off in a very good point here. He's hitting down. There's a lot of damage coming out on this Night Stalker. He will be the sacrificial lamb here, I'm expecting. Yeah, he gets taken out. And it looks like the Dragon Knight might actually be going in on this Spectre. No, a little bit too far to go, but managing to get that kill off. Just staying a little bit too long around that tower. And the nighttime actually went out, so he's not going to be able to use much of this when he comes back. That's another 160-second cooldown. The Dragon Knight's ultimate is coming up in 20 seconds. They might push for this tier 1 tower in the bottom.
Radiant's
And
bottom tower is under
the Shadow Fiend
attack.
having to go back,
Radiant
just picked up the
structures
mech
are
now.
fortified.
And Gyrocopter going middle. Just fires off that rocket on the Witch Doctor, and it is going to do a lot of damage there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
It is
attack.
magical damage. Ooh, managing to pick up a double damage round here. He might get caught here by the Night Stalker and not being able to run quick enough. Ooh, there's actually someone on either side, and he is going to go down. And the drop, that's the drop of the Death Ward as well, but just getting pincered on. Thought you could take down the Shadow Fiend to start off with, but just not enough damage, especially after getting hit by the Void and the 57. And that's going to be the Dragon Knight going down, most likely here. Just not been able to outclass the ultimate there, and that's a killing spree for this Shadow Fiend. Night Stalker managed to destroy the tower at the same time. That's 3 for nothing. Well, 2 for nothing, actually. The Gyrocopter was killed beforehand. The tower went down in the middle of that as well. So that's actually quite a lot coming for the GGB. I remember them, and it's definitely going up for them. What looked like quite a decisive start for Russian Mathematic is actually coming back. The mid-game team fight base of this side of the team, you would think Russian Mathematic would actually be a lot better, but I haven't seen Winter's Curse come out yet, or a Fiend's Grip actually. Lots of good lockdown, so it will really depend on that one team fight. The Spectre just being able to farm away onto him whenever she wants, and it looks like she might not actually be going for that Radiance build anymore. Possibly just going straight for that Desolate. Oh, and in comes here the Spectre here, and that's a lot of damage coming out, and she will die. That Gyrocopter, maxing the homing missile, maxing the rocket barrage. It looks like she does want to fight actually early on. They haven't been stacking the Ancients for him, and he hasn't been getting anything in flat cannon. So he's going for that drums.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Oh, he does get hit there, and or maybe a long range Night Stalker kills off that Tusk actually in the bottom lane. But there's no more regen for this Gyrocopter. But it does look like that is going to get a hit. But a lot of healing coming out here. Level 3 on this Food Restoration, wanting to keep this going. Does still have the mechanism. But it looks like something will go down in this middle lane. Tower does get destroyed. 197 move speed with the Ignite and the Spectral Tower, but it does look like the Bane is going to go down here. There's only 2 stick charges here. Does use the stick charges. Might look for a deny. No, Night Stalker does manage to nuke him down. And that's another just one kill.
Dire's top
It
tower
looks like the
has
Shadow Fiend was
fallen.
just using that Requiem of Souls just to keep somebody from TPing in. Stood right on top of that. But it looks like the Dragon might be able to get a stun off here. Pops the ultimate as well. And the Winter Wyvern, that's what comes out here. And it looks like the Shadow Fiend might go down. One more auto attack off there, and the poison will kick him, I would think. Yeah, out comes the poison. The stun is not enough here from the Dragon Knight, and incoming the Night Stalker. No, not going to be able to pick anything up there, and managing to get a little kill at the end of that, or not actually a little kill, quite a big kill. So yeah, both supports picking up those arcane boots. Does get noticed here. Got Gyrocopter, just going for relatively mid-game orientated. You have the Dragon Knight picking up the Shadow Blade, hopefully, I think, or he is hoping for... Oh no, that's the Invis Rune. Lasting for a lot longer here, can actually get an attack off in the Invis Rune, but it is going to end out, end of the Dragon form. Still under Invis, but I'm sure he was hoping to use the end of that Dragon form just to get a little something. But the team here just setting up on this side with jungle. Have a look at net worth wise. Top of the net worth is this Shadow Fiend, 3, 1 and 2, managing to get quite a few kills. Actually out on this Witch Doctor, and he will go down to the Bane. Big nuke from the Brain Sap. I don't know why they actually say heal amount and the damage. They shouldn't be any different, really. They are just the exact same, so they might as well just put them both together. But this Shadow Fiend is going to get hit by that. It's quite a lot of stun, actually, as well. The top level of stun is 2.8 seconds. And is starting to level this way. Someone here that looks like they might just want to go for a fight with Gyrocopter coming in here. It looks like... Oh, yes. The Dragon Knight does get a clip on that. He does have this ultimate up, but it looks like the Winter Wyvern will just go down. Doesn't want to pop that ultimate either. So that's both the supports going down. Oh wow. The cask flying all the way back to base, and it looks like the Dragon Knight might get hit by that. Yep. Flying across the screen. But yeah, it's a 2 for nothing there. And they're just starting to really cement this lead. The towers are actually in favour of the Dire side, especially with that Dragon Knight. But it looks like the 2 supports here might have been actually going for this Tusk. Oh, and that will be a kill. The 2 stuns and the amount of damage that's coming out from this Death Ward, and it looks like it's only 1,700 away from getting the Aghanims. And then you start getting the bounces. There's no bounces at level 4 anymore. There's not been any smoke plays yet, but they're just going to be able to TP out of this. The Winter Wyvern hoping to get something from there, but nothing yet. And it looks like this bottom tier 1 is going to the Spectre, who is relatively close to her Diffusal Blade. Not going to take that. Or she might actually have it. Yeah, she does have her Diffusal Blade now. So being able to burn that man off, being able to slow and purge. There's not really too much that you can purge on this side that they would want to. But it's really just for that agility damage. The delusions, 30% damage, but the agility, 20 agility for what you get from the item, and also just being able to buy the recipe again. Sorry about that. Buying the recipe again. Oh, it looks like there might be something happening here. Yeah. The recipe is what, only 700, and being able to get yourself 15 agility for 700 gold is definitely worth it. But it does look like they were hoping to get something here, but it looks like a Sanjin Yasha actually coming out for the Shadow Fiend. Wanting to really keep on going for this early game, or this mid game. It looks like Dragon Knight might actually want to get an attack off here. Oh, just unable to catch anybody in this. the Shadow Blade just being able to manage. He might have actually been able to pop his ultimate to get that. Just a slow out here from the Night Stalker. And is actually on his way to his Aghanim Scepter. But that's what I meant. The Ice Shards just seem to push them out. They are meant to get caught in the middle, but just every now and then it happens. But the Dragonite will probably want to go for BKB at some point soon. It is only 20 minutes. Still, the top of the net worth is this Shadow Fiend. And it looks like the Dragonite actually is going to get a lot of damage taken on him. It's this Spectre doing the same damage to him. He might have actually been able to strife and got away from there. That is 3 for 2. Got another Brain Sap in a second, can turn around and do it. Possibly could have actually survived that, had enough damage, but the Tusk having to go for the Snowball here onto this Spectre actually had a Blink Dagger, which I didn't actually notice getting picked up, so that is only a 4 for 2. But seeing as they are ahead already, they've got that. It's over 5k net worth ahead. Yeah, just a quick little pickup on the Blink Dagger that I didn't actually notice, and neither did they really. They were all expecting him to get caught by that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But might have been able to save themselves actually with the Brain Sap there. Healing up just enough. It looked like Shadow Fiend was wanting to go in there. Doesn't have too much mana left actually, so if he did get gone on and used Shadow Race, he might not have actually been able to TP out, but he did manage to get himself out of the way. Gyrocopter possibly going for the Mantis style. Dragonite still saving up his gold. I would think the BKB is probably the best bet here. Stops you taking any of that Desolate damage. No, actually not the Desolate damage, but the Diffusal Blade damage, because I believe it's actually magic. It doesn't say on it, but I believe it's magic damage. And also it's the stuns. They don't have any stuns that go through BKB. That's an unlucky bounces there, managing to miss both of the last hits because of the bounces. But the Ogre Magi is... oh, picked up a Staff of Wizardry. A lot of different things to go into with that. As of yet. Just keeping it going. Our Tusk does... he has his Blink Dagger now, still has the Orb of Venom. Don't know what he's going to go in for next. Night Stalker just has picked up his Axe, so that will give him the... can't entirely remember how... it doesn't last any longer, I don't think. But it does give the flying vision range, huge range increase. Unobstructed vision at night. He's going down straight to the Gyrocopter. Does get caught there, but actually the little damage off there looks like Dragonite is going to go down. Do they have a gem on anyone?
For the wings of the night.
No, they didn't. They must have just dusted him. They still have the Aghanim Scepter here, but that's a 4 for nothing. Wow. A lot of damage, and they will be able to go high ground here. The Dragonite doesn't have anything on him. Doesn't have his buyback. The Winter Wyvern doesn't have buyback and doesn't have ultimate even if she wanted it. So at this point in the game, the Voodoo Restoration should be able to keep everyone alive next to this. They still have... no, the mechanism was used. 3.5k gold for this Shadowfield as well. Can go into Butterfly, can go into really whatever he wants to get. The Spectre here does have a going back for the Radiance, it looks like. And we'll be able to get it very, very soon. He's almost got it as well. And the Ogre Magi not picking up anything after this. And the Night Stalker does have a gem. At the end, the Ogre Magi not, but this Witch Doctor ultimate actually killing off 2 people. The Aghanims there, and with that on the Voodoo Restoration, it looks like the Shadow Fiend will get a kill here on the opposite side of this, managing to just keep it going. And still have the mechanism as well, and it looks like at this point they're just self-destructing. The Dragon Knight will go down and they're just GG'd. Triple kill here for the Shadow Fiend. With 3.2k after he got his ultimate orb, he might have been actually going for the... Oh god, I was scared. He didn't have enough mat damage to kill him at the end anyway, and yeah, just at the end of things, it was just too much damage going out, especially with the Witch Doctor having it as Aghanims. 18 kill participation there. Spectre managing to really come back from a relatively poor early game. She was hoping to get Radiance and then just went into the Diffusal Blade, and it was probably the best option to go for. The amount of damage that those illusions put out once the Radiance, once the Diffusal Blade is picked up, is very, very good. But yeah, they did have a very good early game, Russian Mathematic, but it just looked like the middle game, the mid game for GGB just pulled it right back. So yeah, we'll be going into the second game, I'm sure, very soon. Quite a quick game actually, that. Just under 26 minutes. Usually they go for a little bit longer, so we'll be coming back with that in a very short amount of time. Catch you in a wee sec.